Hey, welcome back. Today we're looking at solving systems by elimination. So what the elimination method does is, the thing to remember is we can cancel opposite terms. So if we look at the first example, we have 2x minus 5y equals 6. Then we have negative 2x plus 10y equals negative 16. So what we can do here is, because we have 2x and a negative 2x, if we add all these terms, right, we're just adding all these terms. 2x minus 2x is 0, or plus negative 2x, which is like minus 2x is 0. So we can cancel that out. That's why we call it elimination, because we're eliminating one of the variables. All right, be very careful with your signs here. So we have negative 5y plus 10y. So that's going to be positive 5y. And then that's going to be equal to 6 plus negative 16, or 6 minus 16, which is negative 10. So step 1, eliminate one of the variables. All right, so we eliminated our x. We're just left with y. Step 2 is going to be that we're going to simplify and solve. So if we did it correctly, there's not really going to be anything to simplify unless we have a super weird case, but we're just going to go ahead and solve here. Another thing to remember is make sure that before we start our elimination method, that we have all our variables lined up correctly, because if not, then we might come out with a weird answer, because we might have different signs, or we might do an addition when we should subtract. So notice here all our x's are lined up, all our y's are lined up, and all our constants are lined up, and also the equal signs. Right, so if we don't have that, then we can't just start eliminating. We got to make sure that they're in the correct order before we do so. Okay, so let's get into the solving here. 5y equals negative 10. We have just one step here. We just need to divide by 5 on both sides. So negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. Now remember again, like we did in substitution, we have to find the other variable. So just like we did last time, we're gonna use whichever equation looks easier to do. I'll just use the top one because the numbers are smaller. So we have 2x minus 5. We're gonna substitute our negative 2 in for our y, because we know that y is equal to negative 2. And then we're just gonna go ahead and clean it up and solve. So 2x, negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10 equals 6. Now we're to a 2-step. We're going to subtract our 10. 6 minus 10 is negative 4. And then undo our division, our multiplication with a division. So x is going to be negative 4 divided by 2, which is negative 2. So our solution would be negative 2 and negative 2. Okay, on to a little more complicated one. Notice this one, we have 5x plus 4y equals 5 and 5x plus 8y equals 25. So we don't have opposites here, but we can make opposites. So what we're going to do is, it doesn't matter which one we choose, we're just going to multiply by negative 1 throughout the whole thing. And what that's going to do is it's going to make a negative 5x, so that we can cancel with the other 5x. So if we rewrite this, we're going to distribute to each term, right, our negative 1. So we have negative 5x times, or negative 1 times 4y is negative 4y. And then negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. And then we're going to line our bottom one up. And now we're going to go ahead and solve it just like we did the last one, because we have these 5x's to eliminate. So our negative 5x and our 5x cancel. Negative 4 plus 8y, remember we're adding, is 4y. And then negative 5 plus 25 is 20. Let's go ahead and solve this and divide by 4. And then 20 divided by 4 is 5. So y is equal to 5. But now we got to go back and find the x. So I think the top one's a little bit easier to work with. So we're going to substitute our 5 in for our y. So we have 5x plus 20 equals 5. And we have a two-step here, so we're going to subtract our 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. And then 5 minus 20 is negative 15. And last step, we're going to undo our 5 times x by dividing by 5. I should write that nicer. So they cancel, and x equals negative 3. So we got our solution. It's going to be negative 3 and 5. Okay, so not too bad. If we find that we have the same term, 5x and 5x in this case, right? They're not opposites yet, but we can make them opposites easily. We're just going to multiply by a negative to make them opposites of each other. And then we'll go about solving just like we did before. Then we can eliminate, and then we can solve for one of the variables. Okay, on to the last one. So this one is a little bit more complicated because we don't have any same terms. We don't have any opposite terms. So we've got to change both of the equations in order for us to eliminate. Okay, so what we're going to look for here is between the x terms and the y terms, we're going to try to find which one is either smaller or that we can get to easier. So for 4 and 5, I know we can get from 4 and 5 using multiplication to 20, right? Which is a lot smaller than if we were working with 9 and 8, because we'd have to multiply both of those by each other, and the least common multiple would be 72. So 20 is a lot smaller and easier to work with. It doesn't really matter. You guys can do either way. It's just that if you do the y's, we're going to come out with larger values. Okay, so if we're looking at the negative 4x and 5x, remember, again, we're trying to have opposites. So I'm going to multiply the top by positive 5. And I'm going to multiply the bottom by negative 4. We're going to go ahead and distribute these. So when we rewrite this, 5 times negative 4x is negative 20x. 5 times negative 9y is negative 45y. And then 5 times 15 is 75. And on the bottom, the reason why we're multiplying by the negative 4 is because we want it to come out to be positive 20x. So negative 4 times negative 5x is positive 20x. Negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 8y is positive 32y. And then negative 4 times 9 is negative 36. Okay, so you can see if we did it correctly that we're going to have things that are going to eliminate. So here we have our negative 20x and our 20x. So when we add those together, we get 0. For the y's, negative 45 plus 32 is going to be negative 13. And then 75 minus 36, or 75 plus negative 36, is going to give us 39. And then once we've done all that stuff, now it's just a one step. We're going to divide by negative 13. And y is going to be equal to negative 3. Okay, again, remember that we have to find the other variable as well. So I don't think it really matters if we do the top or the bottom. They look about the same level of complexity. We'll just do the bottom. So negative 5x minus 8 times y is negative 3 equals 9. let's simplify. Negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24. Now we're at a two-step. I'm going to subtract 24. 9 minus 24 is negative 15. And then we divide by our negative 5, so then x is equal to positive 3. So our solution is 3 and negative 3. And we're done. So that's the most complex type of elimination, is when we have to change both of our equations in order to eliminate. But again, once you get the hang of it, then it should be pretty easy. Just remember to distribute properly, keep your signs in order, and you should be fine. All right, good job today. See you guys next time.